Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-February 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in energy and see what's happening for the lovely Saggies out there. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going. Guides and spirit team, talk to me about the Saggies. What's going on here, please? And thank you. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And then at the very end, I'm going to pull you a bonus card from the Tarot of Sacred Kingdoms. I'm going to pull you a shadow card from that, which is always interesting, right? Could do a lot of introspection with that. But let's get your first card out here. Let's rock and see what we got for Saggy. The deck is jumping. It's trying to pop out cards already. Let's see what we have here for Saggy, please. All right, talk to me. What's going on, my friends? And I will say this, Saggy, in recent weeks, your readings have been very nuanced, okay? Dreamy, water sign type of energy, so I do expect the same in this one, okay? Lots of possible detail. But I often see this card come out with water signs, so if you do have connections or dealings with a water sign, it could be heightened here. But this is a big card of dreams, imagination, sleep. There's a lot of little layers to this that will really deconstruct. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little bit more about this card. So we see this lady here. It looks like she's sitting up on that platform, kind of taking a nap or a snooze. It's very reminiscent of the Four of Cups energy, so daydreaming, a lot of mental things going on. So for a lot of Sagittarians in this time, you might just be extra imaginative. You might be daydreaming, or something specific could be on your mind more than it normally is. I always say that this card absolutely points to the dream state. So if you've been having a lot of vivid dreams lately, maybe look into the meanings or jot down specific things that you keep seeing as a pattern, because this is really important when it comes to that. But this could also represent somebody needing some rest and recuperation, specifically mentally. But a big thing here is just that active mind. So in this time, it could be very good for you to really dive into any sort of creative pursuit. We're just going to put that down here. I mean, who knows? Maybe you're on someone's mind. That could be simple, right? But let's get into tarot now. I always say this first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright, then we'll get into the intuitive juiciness. So let's shuffle it up one time, see what we got for the Saggies here in mid-February, please. And while we shuffle up and get this deck ready, let's talk about last week's reading. Your reading was titled A Karmic Warning. Now, I did mistitle it for the first day. I didn't catch it till the next day. It had the same one as Gemini, but there was a lot of karmic archetypes within your reading last week. So whether it was Spirit saying like, hey, Sag, you just know you're going to get what you put forth in this time, or Spirit's taking notes. Could even be someone you're connected to getting some sort of karmic retribution. I mean, I don't like to say it like that, but there were just heavy karmic undertones implied in your reading. So we're going to see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get you 3 cards for the Saggies, please. Wonder if we're going to get more of that thought-based type of vibe. I mean, possible. You never know what's going to pop out. Queen of Wands, a card of the self, very important in a Sagittarius reading, and it is not gender specific. Always keep that in mind. I always like to mention that up front, but this is, it's a fire sign card, but a lot of readers link it specifically to Sagittarius, so that could be a cornerstone of this week's reading. Another card of the self. So 2 cards of the self showing up here. So Saggy, yeah, we're going to have to dig deeper. We got Temperance in the center. Let's get one more. One more here for Saggy, please. Now, Ace of Swords. Intriguing. So another card of the mind state. We have the fire-air combination happening. I'm seeing a lot of things here, Sagittarius. So let's put that down right there. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first glance, I was already spitballing with you about the things that I've been seeing. Obviously, 2 cards in the front end that could represent you. Elementally, this is a lot of fire. Even though Temperance is like a patience-based type of card, it is that fiery Sagittarian type of energy. We also have this Ace of Swords, a card of sharp analytical thinking, the sword of truth, literally. So we're going to have a lot to really look at, Saggy. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to break this down. Another thing with this fire-air combination, you know, that could be a volatile mixture. This could be motivational. It could be things improving or changing very quickly, but at the same time, it could be explosive. But starting with the Queen of Wands here on the front end, as I already mentioned, fire sign energy. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius specifically. So in my simplistic reading, same goes with Temperance that we're coming up to. When we clarify it, it could tell us something or someone that could be coming towards you. It could tell us a way you might be feeling or something that might pop up in the coming days and weeks. Now, aside from that, when we see the Queen of Wands, if it's not another fire sign or yourself, this card is extremely confident. Now, all queens represent the internal world, or they deal with the internal world within their suit powers. And when I see the Queen of Wands, I think of beauty, I think of sexiness, I think of confidence. It's very appealing. So there might be someone that finds you extremely attractive or very appealing. Maybe there's a specific individual that you are having your eyes on when this card is here. But I think of someone's self-confidence. So the clarifier for this could be really important. It could also represent who and what you're focused on as well. Like, what are you focusing your energy on? Because the King of Wands is very similar in that vein as well. Now, moving to the center, we have the major arcana that represents you as well. We have the beautiful Temperance card. Now, depicted on the front is Archangel Michael. So I always mention that this is a huge card of spiritual protection. Similarly to the Queen of Wands, it could just represent something coming towards you, a way you might be feeling, and all that good stuff. But the energetic spiritual protection from guides, ancestors, it's just really beautiful and strong, powerful energy here. So you are protected. That's some good reassurance for a lot of you that you have your spirit team around you. Now, Temperance, once again, is a card of patience. It's like, okay, wait a little bit longer, or something's coming up. Don't act on it just yet. So whereas like the fire-air combination could be very spontaneous and go, 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 Temperance is like, no, 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 slow that down for a minute. So take that however you will. It could represent delays in its roughest form. It doesn't really have to be too rough or treacherous. I think Temperance is angelic and beautiful for the most part, but very significant in a Sagittarius reading. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Ace of Swords. Now, as with all aces, they all represent opportunities and offers. So yeah, maybe you do have some opportunities or offers coming up for you. But the Ace of Swords could be a little sharper than the rest of the aces. This could speak about mental clarity, seeing the truth of a situation, seeing things clearly. So if you've been going through some problems or situations and you've been trying to cut through the muck, this energy spirit saying like, okay, you're going to see it clearly now, or things are going to start to make sense. The dots are going to start to connect. This Ace of Swords could also represent talks, communication, messages, things like that. So there could be some importance around communication, especially when we have cards of the self. So how you express yourself or the ideas you put forth could just represent someone's mental state. Now, I know I'm giving a lot of detail about the cards. The Ace of Swords could also represent somebody who is on some sort of self-betterment mission as well. So you might be trying to clean up some habits and things like that. But I want to dive deeper on all this, Saggy. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for my Saggies, please. Guides and spirit team. Yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Queen of Wands. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Sagittarius, you could drop it right down in the comments. Don't mind at all. I will not be offended, my friends. Let's go in on that Queen of Wands. Why is she here? Thank you. Okay. So it does seem it might be your turn here within the zodiac for this type of energy. We have Judgment in reverse. Another thing I want to point your attention to is we have another archangel in the mix. So the spiritual protection around you is intense. It's extremely strong right now, Sagittarius. Very reassuring type of energy, really good stuff. So if you are feeling some solitude or you're feeling left out, like this is just really protective and loving type of energy. But when I see Judgment in reverse, a small portion of you might be having certain situations where you're undecided. You don't know what to do. There could be a lack of clarity in things where it's like, yeah, I don't know. But a big thing I'm feeling intuitively is, just like I've been seeing in a lot of the rest of the zodiac, things could start returning. Things could start coming back around. This is a karmic card, like we saw last week. The fact that it's in reverse could represent past cycles swinging back. So whether that's for better or for worse, there might be big returns coming in this time, okay? Whether you want them to or not, okay? Spirit might be testing you in different ways. But another thing I'm picking up here is the change, okay? With the fire and the air up here, now we have judgment. Although it's in reverse, it does speak about cycles and those karmic wheels turning. So for a lot of Saggies, you could be in a big time of change. This is also explosive like the top. So we'll see if that gets reiterated as we move along. But lots of stuff here. I know I just gave a whole bunch of messages. We'll talk about it more during the recap. Let's keep pressing forward. Like I said, it could be change, it could be things returning, it could be all sorts of stuff. Hopefully you don't have too much indecision, but there's a lot of spiritual energy attached to you in this time, Saggy. So let's go in on Temperance. Why is Temperance here? Thank you. Yeah, go time. Go time. Knight of Wands, fiery type of energy here. Powerful. Okay, another card that could represent you. So, Saggy, there might be an action you have to take in this time, or there might be something where it's like, all right, if you don't do it, nobody's going to do it. So keep that in mind, all right? And again, I'm getting this change-based energy. All this fiery air and all this energy, it just feels very explosive. So whether you're initiating these changes or whether Spirit's initiating it with all this spiritual energy, I would say there could be a lot of cycles that are about to shift and change very explosively for a lot of you, whether it's personal relationships, whether it's in work, whether it's internal stuff. There's just a lot of things moving. It's like a lot of cogs in this wheel. Now, the Knight of Wands is the complete opposite energy of what we have with Temperance up top. Aside from what I already mentioned about the explosive change and something that you might have to do, when I see this in the upright underneath Temperance, like somebody revving up their engines, getting ready. It's like, all right, well, I know I have to do this. I know I want to do this, but I have to wait. I have to wait a little bit longer. So there might be somebody in that mode, okay? It might be you. It's like, all right, well, I need to do this. I want to do this, but it's like pent up. But once again, the explosive energy that's coming out through the side. We'll see what's up. Let's go in on that Ace of Swords. Just a very, very powerful energy for you this week, Sagittarius. So let's go in on that Ace of Swords. Then we will do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. So let's see what's in there for you. What do we got that Ace of Swords for, please? Guides and Spirit team. Thank you. Okay. We have the powerful, fiery Emperor in the upright, the complete opposite of the Empress. Now, there is positivity to the Emperor, and it does get a bit of a bad reputation in tarot. A lot of people say, oh, this could be a very controlling individual, or this could be someone that's extremely overbearing, and that can be true, but there's a lot of positive to the Emperor energy. Now, this does link into Aries, so just notice what we have going on here elementally. Fire, 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 fire. We have this explosive judgment, change-based type of energy. We have this air. This whole spread is like a spark plug here. But the good thing is, I feel like a lot of you can handle it. The Emperor is a shot caller type of vibe. This is someone that could handle anything. They could handle the highs, they could handle the lows. If you are connected with an Aries, there might need to be some sort of talk or conversation coming up, or one that has been had, but you might need to put it straight to someone as well. Like, this could be a very honest or serious conversation that needs to be had. So aside from all the other stuff, I know I'm giving a lot of messages here this week. With the Emperor and the Ace of Swords, I'm getting someone needing to have a very stern, serious conversation. Whether this is how someone wants to speak to you, or whether this is how you need to speak to somebody. It's like laying down ground rules or boundaries in one way or another. That's also involved here. But the fire-air combination, I feel like you could thrive in it, okay? I know I was speaking all this stuff about the change, the explosive, this and that. You're a fire sign, Saggy. If anyone can deal with this energy, it's you. Right? Like, you could deal with this. You might thrive in chaos, which is something I don't often say to signs. Like, Saggy is one of those signs. I personally think when stuff hits the fan, Saggies are at their best. They have very good intuition with things. let's go through and do a quick recap. I'm getting way off topic, Saggy. If you kindly look in the box before we get into the shadow card. Position number 1, we have the Queen of Wands with Judgment in reverse. So yeah, there might be certain things you're a little indecisive about in this time, or you don't really know what to do or how you should handle it. But a main thing I was picking up was this is where that change was starting. I wouldn't be surprised if things return in this time as well. I've been seeing it throughout the zodiac in recent weeks. Now it's showing up for you in a very big way. There's energy of returning. In the center, we have Temperance with the Knight of Wands in the upright. Tons of cards that represent you, the explosive change kicking in. There could be something that you need to initiate. Like if you don't do it, it's not going to happen. Like you might need to take some action on something. Or there could be something or someone that wants to take action, but they're stopping themselves. It feels very pent up. But nothing could keep this energy pent up for long because, like I said, the explosive change is in the mix. So you could be experiencing lots of different changes. Changes of heart, changes of work, changes of relationships, internal. On the back end, we have the Ace of Swords with the Emperor in the upright, Aries energy, divine masculine energy, shot caller type of energy here as well. I did say for a lot of you, you could really thrive if there is any sort of chaos going on or if stuff does hit the fan with all this spiritual protection and this Emperor energy. It's like, yeah, you got this on lock. You're good, Sag. You got this. Another thing I was picking up, you might need to have a very stern, serious talk or conversation with someone. Lay down some boundaries, right? Or just approach something in a serious way. So yeah, please take a screenshot of that, Sagittarius. Lots of stuff this week for you, right? The messages were coming out rapid fire. Let's get you a shadow card now. And yes, as you know, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow card does not have to be a challenge. It could be a good thing. So let's see what's in the shadows for Saggy, please. Oh, and yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it down in the comments below. It is a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love and appreciation for all my channel members. Okay, no pressure though, Saggy. Let's get you a shadow card here. What do we got for my friends? What's in the shadows? Yeah, there we go. Very specific. Okay. 10 of Pentacles, beautiful shadow energy. Now, I will say this, for a small portion of you, there could be certain situations involving your living situation. There could be certain situations involving family members, things like that. The 10 of Pentacles is a very stable energy of home and family. But aside from that, this is beautiful energy of leveling up, abundance, influxes of money. So I will say this for a lot of Saggies, if you've been having any difficulties in the realm of monetary things, you could see a nice big uptick in that or some sort of level up when we have the 10 of Pentacles showing up in the shadows. But although we have all this fiery, change-based type of energy, this in the shadows, once again, reiterates what I've been seeing. Whatever's happening or whatever does happen, you're going to be fine. You have an inner stability. I just have to say it again, like thrive in chaos or whatever is going on, I'll be fine. It doesn't matter. Throw the spontaneous stuff at me. I like it. It's kind of giving me that vibe. But yeah, I would say just, yeah, watch for the home and family and money things as well. But overall, this is a very, very positive shadow card for you, Saggy. That's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details, the February subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, please feel free to go over to my website, mastermetaphysics.com, to check out my digital calendar. But for the February subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my go-to decks, and it is absolutely awesome. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot suits, which one vibes with your energy the best? Is it the Wands, the Pentacles, Cups, or Swords? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of February, I'll announce the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.